Hi, this is Jaden Han, and this is Wylock 7th grade lesson 4. So the first set of problems involves solving for the equation. So for problems like these, you want to isolate the variable, which means you want the variable to be on a side by itself. So for this problem, for example, number 1, we have to isolate the variable so that we get rid of the 3 out of 4. So the way you get rid of the 3 out of 4 is that you can multiply 4 over 3 to both sides. Since 3 out of 4 times 4 out of 3 equals 1, and you're left with W. So we know that cancels out, but now we have to do negative 27 times 4 out of 3. Well, that actually simplifies to W equals negative 36. All right, let's try out one more problem like that. So n over 3 minus 4 equals 2. So when you want to isolate the variable, the last thing you want to do is multiply and divide. So first we'll add 4 to both sides. So we get n over 3 equals 6. And now we multiply 3 to both sides. Since you can think of n over 3 as 1 out of 3, so 1 out of 3 times 3 is 1. So n equals 18. All right, let's try out the next set. Solve the equation if possible. So it's similar to this, but this time we want to isolate the variables. We want to isolate the variables to one side and just the regular numbers to another side. So one way we could do that is we add 7.6 to both sides. So that basically means this will cancel out and the numbers will be here. So then we would subtract negative 2.91 or 2.9 W to this side. So that basically leaves us with 1.8 W equals 12.6. Now we just divide 1.8 on both sides. And we are left with 12.6 divided by 1.8, which is 7. So W equals 7. All right, let's move on. So solve the proportions. So for solving the proportions here, if we're given a variable here and we're given just two fractions that are equal to each other, we can do something called cross multiplying. So this is only when the two fractions are equal to each other. You can multiply the numerator of this number to the denominator of this number, and the numerator of this number to the numerator of the opposite fraction, basically. So we do 56 times 2 and x times 16, which is why it's called cross multiplying. So 56 times, so let's do 16 times x, which is 16x. So 16x equals 56 times 2, which is 112. Now we can just solve for x, and 112 divided by 16 gets us 7. So x equals 7. All right, use the percent. Actually, let's try one more problem. So number 3, this one you cross multiply again. So we would do 5 times c plus 2 and 8 times 45. So 5 plus c plus 2, and then 45 times 8 is 360. So we can multiply the 5 out. So we get 5c plus 10 equals 360. Next, we can we could subtract the 10. So that gets us 5c equals 350. And then we divide 5 on both sides to get c equals 70. All right, let's move on to the next question. So use the percent equation to answer the question below. What number is 30% of 55? So when it says 30% of 55, we obviously know the 30% here, the P here is 30. So of 55 means we're multiplying this 30% by 55 to get what number is 30% of 55. So basically, as you know, 30% is also equal to 0.3. So you're just doing 55 times 0.3. So let's solve for that. 5 times 3 is 15. And then 5 times 3 plus 1 is 16. And then you move the fraction. You move the fraction, down. So here, so your final answer is 16.5. 16.5 is 30% of 55. All right, write the equation so that y is a function of x. So what that basically tells you is that they want y at the end of the equation. They just want y to be by itself and to have no coefficients in front of it. Coefficients are basically just the numbers in front. So x plus 7. We want the y to be by itself with no coefficients. So let's isolate the y. So let's subtract x. So here, and then we just divide the 7. So we are left with y by itself. So y equals negative x over 7. All right. And the last one, which of the following answers is equivalent to the ratio below? 3 spoons of sugar for every 5 cups of coffee. So the ratio here is 3 to 5. For 3 things of something, 3 things of something for 5 things of something. So let's think about it. 2 spoons of sugar for every 4 cups of coffee. You can simplify that into 1 spoon of sugar for every 2 cups of coffee. Is 1 to 2 equivalent to 3 to 5? No, so we'd cross that out. 4 spoons of sugar for every 3 cups of coffee. Well, let's simplify that. You would basically be putting 2 spoons of sugar for every 3 cups of coffee. Is 2 to 3 equivalent? No, it's not. 6 spoons of sugar for every 10 cups of coffee. Well, if you simplify that, you get 3 to 5, since you're putting 3 spoons of sugar for every 5 cups. So this one could be a possibility. Let's check the last one just to be sure. 2 spoons of sugar for every 16 cups. Well, that simplifies to 5, 8. So the only choice left is C. So that's your final answer. All right. Thank you for listening and have a great day.